Hello, welcome back to the Dixie Belle YouTube channel. I'm Connie from Faff Designs and I'm one of your Dixie Belle brand ambassadors. In the video today, I'm going to show you how I took this cabinet, which cost me £1 from a charity shop, and turned it into something really colourful and quirky using silk mineral paint. So as you can see, this has a factory finish on it. It's not an old piece, it's actually really modern. I believe it's IKEA. So in order to paint this surface, which is absolutely possible, you just need to do an extra step to your prep work. So if you do have any IKEA type furniture or anything that's similar to this, so it's quite modern, it's got a high gloss white finish on it, what you need to do is clean as usual. I'm using Dixie Belle's White Lightning to give it a really good scrub. This has been sat in my local charity shop for several weeks untouched. I know it has because I've seen it a few times and walked past it. It was originally advertised at £10 and then they reduced it because no one wanted it and I got it for £1. So I'm cleaning it all over with Dixie Belle's White Lightning and then I rinsed it with clean water after that. Once it had dried, I then took my electric sander and just sanded out any rough bits on the surface. So the finish on this was failing a little bit and some of that original finish had started to flake off or had been banged or knocked with something. So you want to make sure that that's completely smooth. Just run your hand over the surface and if you can feel any rough parts, just sand those down. You don't have to do it with an electric sander, you can do it by hand and just make sure it's really nice and smooth to touch. On the very top of the piece, there were a few areas that needed filling because the dings were quite large. So I filled those using white Dixie mud and then once that was dry, sanded it completely smooth with a sanding sponge, and these are equivalent to a 220 grit. Once you finish sanding, just remember to wipe down your piece with a microfiber cloth to remove any dust off the surface. And then the magic ingredient to painting surfaces like this one is the product Slick Stick. So it's a primer and it's an adhesion primer and it comes in white, so it's not really showing up on my white piece, but I'm using a combination of a synthetic brush and a roller to apply 2 coats of Slick Stick all over my piece. And then once you've applied 2 coats, you're going to want to leave that to sit for 24 hours before you apply any paint. Once your 24 hours has passed, you can go ahead and apply your paint and finish your piece in whichever finish and product line that you desire. I'm using silk mineral paint here. I'm going for quite a modern, kind of colourful, quirky finish. I'm using the colour Tide Pool and I'm using a combination of a brush and a roller to apply 2 coats all over it. And then I'm going to create a scallop detail around the top. Now there's a couple of ways you can do this. The way that I find easiest is to make a template out of cardboard and then trace over that with chalk and then hand paint it. But you can tape it out as well. Or we could all get together and sign a petition and get Dixie Belle to release a stencil with a scallop design, and that would make everyone's lives a lot easier. So I have my outline of the scallop and then I used artist brushes to just trace that line really carefully, and I'm using the colour Mirage. So this is a deeper tone, obviously to Tide Pool, but it's going to give me like a 2-tone kind of green effect, which I think will look really quirky. I did make life difficult for myself on the front of this cabinet because there is some detail on the door that's like a sort of panel design on the front. I just had to go really carefully and then touch it up afterwards with a smaller brush. And for me, the best thing about silk mineral paint is that it's got a built-in top coat. So once I'd applied 2 coats of the Mirage around the top, it was ready, it was done, it was ready to go, and I staged it up and no need for any top coats. So here is a little close-up of the scallop design that I did around the top. I also painted the interior in the colour Conch, which is also a colour from the silk mineral paint range, just to add a little bit of contrast. And here's the final shot. Thank you for watching the video. If you want to pick up any of the items that you've seen me use in today's video, head down to your local Dixie Belle retailer, or you can purchase them online on the Dixie Belle website as well. Thank you for watching, as always. I think I already said that, but thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye!